Do you want to learn how to build more love in your family? So continue watching this and I'll explain 3 simple ways you can actually start to practice love versus say that you love. See, a lot of times we forget that love requires momentum, requires action, it requires expression. How do we do it? Through this beautiful art of intentionality, through kindness, and through respect. We can really start to appreciate our loved ones so that way they know, they feel that they're seen, that they know they're heard, and that they matter. Like they feel like they're worth it. Okay? Let's dive in, shall we? Okay, the first thing I talked about was intentionality. What do I mean when I say intentionality? So a lot of times you and I both know, if I asked you, do you love your family? You're definitely going to say yes. Are you showing love to your family? Do they feel loved? It's a very different thing. And that all starts with this concept of intentionality. Intentionality is doing things with intent, with a reason, by choice, with willingness. Even on those days where your child is crying, yelling, and screaming, and you're like, ugh. Yep, those days. On those days where your spouse is just frustrating you and irritating you beyond belief, yep, those days. You see, intentionality is like that North Star that leads up to our character. You, me, all of us. We are literally the compilations of the intentional decisions that we make, which is what builds our character. So take a moment today and write down, what is that one intention you need to align with to really pour love into your home? Second thing, let's dive into, I said, is kindness. Okay? Oftentimes, the kindest part of us, the most enthusiastic, entertaining, fun, playful part of us shows up outside of our homes. And then you wonder why your kids think you're boring and strict and rigid and they don't want to talk to you. You see, intentionality is lovely. However, if it's not backed up with a sense of kindness, where you want the other person to feel that they matter, that you're expressing to them ways that the world will show them who they are, it all starts with kindness. I say it all the time. Kindness is completely free. It costs us nothing. In our house, we have this fun, funky motto called kindness is cool. I know, we're those nerds. Can you believe it? However, in order for us to really bring back this conversation of love, which is an action, which is a verb, you gotta step up. You gotta elevate. You gotta build actionable items, actionable things that you can do in your home to make the other person feel like you're being the kindest version of yourself to them. It all starts with the home, you see. We're all focused on the outside, yet it all starts within. When you lead with kindness, when you take that moment to pause and ask yourself, how does the kindest version of me show up right now? When your child is talking back to you, when your spouse is completely disengaged and too busy scrolling, how do you show up with kindness in that way? Where you've taken a pause, become intentional about who you want to be, and then you're packaging that up with kindness. It changes the whole trajectory of how your family starts to feel the love. The third thing that we want to dive into is this brilliant concept of respect. And I know I took a nice long deep breath because it saddens me when I see the lack of respect that families have for one another. And when we, as the leaders, as the parents, don't express respect to our kids, to our home, to our time, then everything is in this mode of chaos. And everyone is operating from this energy, right? This energy of disrespect, insult, humiliation, shame, blame. Fill in the blanks, people. Respecting yourself means preserving your energy, doing right by you. And that means oftentimes communicating in a way where you're speaking less and really channeling this energy and this way of being that communicates to the other person that, you know what, I'm not entertaining this, nor am I here to kind of get wrapped up and involved in it. Can you imagine when your spouse comes home and it's like it's bickering about something that happened at work, and you're just there to listen, not react, not engage in that. You're just there to listen. Allow them that session to kind of process. And maybe wrap it up with a nice long hug to make them feel seen and heard. These small, tiny things that you'll start to do will really create a loving home environment. How? When you are intentional in the way you're showing up, and you are practicing kindness, and you are demonstrating respect, your whole house energy shifts, and everybody starts to see you practicing it, living into it, versus saying something and expecting something else in return. Okay? If any of this resonates with you, I would really encourage you to hop on a call with me. Let's explore what's happening in your home. Let's explore some tools to really navigate this challenging place we call our homes and our lives, especially when we're trying our best to build a loving home.